Hello friends, so welcome to this lecture on protecting data in Azure SQL DB. So in this lecture, we'll study this portion of defense in depth, wherein we'll study what are the different options we have in case of Azure SQL DB to protect the data, or in other words, you can say the encryptions option we have. So SQL databases helps you secure your data by providing the encryption at the various level, like the data which is moving, or in motion, and the data which is lying or data which is at rest, and the data which is in use. So we'll study all these options one by one. So for data which is in motion, we have the option to secure it is by using the SSL or TLS certificates. See, the first thing we need to understand is if the data moving over a network is not encrypted, there is a chance that it can be captured or stolen by the unauthorized users. And it is very crucial that when we are dealing with the database services, that the data is encrypted between the database client and server. We also need to make sure that the data is encrypted between the database servers as well, which communicate with each other. So therefore, in case of Azure SQL DB or Azure SQL databases, all connections to the Azure SQL databases, they basically require your TLS or SSL connection all the times while the data is in motion or in transit, basically to and from the databases. And this Azure SQL DB, or you can say your SQL databases, uses this TLS or SSL to authenticate the servers and clients. And once it gets authenticated, only then it is used to encrypt messages between the trusted parties. So we have this option of using the TLS certificates to encrypt the data which is in motion. Now the data which is being transferred over the wired network is secured using this option. Now we come to the second option, which talks about the data at rest, or we also call it as TDE, Transparent Data Encryption. So TD protects data at rest, meaning the data and the log files. See, this technology, we can say that it was designed to have the entire encryption process completely transparent to the application. See, as the name saying transparent. So transparent means transparent to the basically transparent to the application which is accessing the database. And it performs that by using the your AES or triple dash, and encrypting the page files, and only decrypting when it basically goes into the memory. So this is how that TD works. And TD, this transparent data encryption, performs the real-time encryption, decryption of the databases, associated backups, transaction files which are at rest without any changes at the application end. So that is why we are saying that transparent, because there are no changes required at the application end. And by default, TD is enabled for all newly deployed Azure SQL databases. And apart from this, this transparent data encryption is the requirement by a number of laws and regulations. So in case of Azure SQL DB, it will help you to comply with all these kind of regulations or laws which basically require this kind of encryption. And now we have is the data which is in use. For that, Azure SQL DB provides the option, we call it as AE, or always encrypted. So that is the option we have for the client encryption. So you'll see in the diagram the text is very small. That is, we also call it as client encryption. So basically, always encrypted feature is designed to protect the sensitive data such as credit card numbers, national identification numbers, right, in case of US, which are stored in your SQL databases. In case of always encrypted, or you can say client encryption, allows the client which are accessing the SQL databases to encrypt the sensitive data inside the client application only, and never reveal the encryption keys to the database engine or your SQL server. And this could be because all your database administrators or other privileged users who are authorized to access the database to perform any management task or troubleshooting, but they should not be having access to the business need. They are not having any business need to access a particular data in an encrypted column. So that is why the data is always encrypted, which means the encrypted data is decrypted only for processing by the client application with access to your encryption keys, and the encryption key is never exposed to your SQL database. And then application can store the SQL keys in key vault and all those things, to securely manage the access. So this is it. In this lecture, we have studied the different options for data in motion, for data at rest, and for data in use. So this is it, friends, in this lecture. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.